If you or a loved one drafted Christian McCaffrey with the first overall pick in your fantasy football draft, you are likely eligible for some compensation, as you are a victim of fraud. August 6th, that is when it was reported Christian McCaffrey was dealing with a calf injury. The most dismissed injury report of all time. I mean, nobody talked about it. It was just nothing. It was poof, gone. It's like, oh yeah, he'll be okay. He'll be fine. We thought nothing of it. Do not tell me that we had any sort of idea he would be missing an entire year's worth of football, because certainly ESPN didn't know. No, we didn't have any clue what was happening. I've accepted the fact. I've literally accepted the fact that McCaffrey's not coming back, because it's like, why get my hopes up? Oh, he's fine. He's back. August 6th, if you were to tell me, oh, by the way, Christian McCaffrey actually may have season-ending surgery, it's like, oh, what a gut punch. But like, you get that information, you move on. But don't tease me and dangle a carrot in front of me and say, oh, he'll be back next week. They just don't want to play him in Minnesota. No turf. He'll be back the following week. Oh, no, we're still waiting on good results. Oh, well, now he's going to Germany. Well, we're still waiting. We're optimistic. Just stop. If he's not playing, tell me. But don't run me down this road. Do not lead me on like I'm going to be your prom date. I've been stood up before. Anyways. Okay, on to the show. Now here's a guy. I feel so bad for my roommates. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Now Here's a Guy with Henry Markin. I'm that guy, Henry Markin, but I could also do this guy. God. New backdrop. Obviously, I don't have my fantasy football team behind me, the draft results, because I'm in a new place. I'm in literally my new room. It's a completely empty room. It's nothing. It's sort of like what it feels like to be a Browns fan. There's nothing. You have nothing going for you right now. You have no future. You have no past. You certainly have no present. Sorry, that was really mean. Today is Wednesday, October 16th, and the Hoosiers are ranked 16 in the country. Hoosiers. I mean, this is amazing. What was once a bit and somewhat comical, the idea that Indiana can go to the college football playoff. I'm at a point right now where if they don't go, I'm going to be pissed. I'm serious. And not just pissed, like disappointed in the same way that I get when the Niners lose the Super Bowl. Like, that's the expectation right now. I hate to say this, but the expectation right now is college football playoff for the Hoosiers. This is the year to do it too, by the way. Not just because you have just this outstanding coach with balls of steel. I mean, it's not my fault that my confidence is up to 9,000. Coach Kurt Cignetti literally told a press reporter, Google me, I win. Like, I'm ready to put pads on for the guy right now. I will go out right now. Well, maybe not right this second, because it's actually pretty good weather here in Santa Monica. I imagine Indiana starts to get a little chilly. I hate to say this. This is such a stupid thing to say. A really spoiled thing, too. If Indiana does not go to the college football playoff, this will be a letdown. And I know that's the dumbest thing that I could have said, because every single game from here on out is proof of a successful season. Like, if we lose out for the rest of the year, we're still going to a bowl game. We were the first team that was bowl eligible. We have like some of the most yards and points per game in the country. Like, every single stat, every single cell that is Indiana football, everything you could display points that this is a successful year. We're barely over halfway done of this year, and this is like already one of the best years in Indiana football in the last like 30 years. I mean, we could be 7-0 this weekend. I mean, I said it last time. We haven't been 7-0 since the 50s. Like, the last time Indiana had any sort of record resemblance of this, they went to the Rose Bowl. They played O.J. Simpson in the Rose Bowl. I mean, I'm literally at the point where it's like, I feel like an Ohio State fan, where every year you're thinking playoff and national championship. That is not what we are used to. Like, we are used to showing up and leaving by the second quarter to go turn into a rug, right? To just drink ourselves to sleep. That is Indiana football. You got 12 o'clock games. It's hotter than hell in September. You're gone by the third quarter, and you're in bed by 6 o'clock. By the way, sleeping through the night because it was a long morning. That is not the case right now. We're getting primetime games. We got coach writing a letter to the students saying, skip studying, skip partying. This is bigger than you. The coach, I've just seen enough with this coach. I know he's a winner. And I know he's not playing to go to the Gator Bowl or the Holiday Bowl. This guy wants to go to the playoff. Like, they're playing for the playoff. And I know that sounds crazy. I know it's like I should be more than thrilled with anything that happens for the rest of the year because the expectation has been exceeded weeks ago. We could realistically play in the Big Ten championship. Stop laughing. Who did that? Who laughed? There's no one here. It's just me. Anyways, okay. You may have seen me in a Dr. Squatch commercial campaign past couple weeks, just like Sidney Sweeney. Yep, no big deal. We're coworkers. It's fine. I mean, her campaign looked a little bit more expensive, obviously shot with multiple high-definition cameras in a studio, lighting, sound. I did mine on an iPhone in the bathroom, but it's kind of the same thing, right? Although I'm quite certain, I'll just say I have an aggressive hunch that she's probably selling more soap, being Sidney Sweeney and, all of her resources, we'll call it. She was also doing her commercial, effectively topless in a bathtub where I was fully clothed. It's kind of the same thing. We'll call it a wash, right? We'll call it a draw. Nobody really knows who's selling more soap for Dr. Squatch. Also, while we're on the topic of business, this episode of Now Here's a Guy with Henry Markin is sponsored by WonderFan, an incredible company with an app that I think is going to revolutionize in-game entertainment. I'm not just saying this. It is one of the coolest apps ever. As a sports fan, as a fan of just getting free stuff, the app literally gives you cash rewards by showing up to sporting events. That's it. You just show up, you hit earn, and that's it. You're just generating wonder, which you can use as its own currency to redeem actual cash prizes, like gift cards to Uber, Airbnb, Home Depot, Chipotle. I mean, I could use just about 50,000 gift cards to Chipotle. I pretty much have that place every other day. I literally have Chipotle like 4 times a week. 4 is the line. It's like 4.5, take the over. Because there are some days where I go back to back to back. Not even kidding. I don't go back-to-back lunches, but I'll go like a lunch on a Tuesday and then dinner at Chipotle, like a Wednesday night dinner, then maybe another dinner Thursday, maybe take a break, then like a Sunday late lunch, kind of like in between the NFL games. Like, that's a very realistic food calendar for me that Chipotle is heavily involved in. That's not my point. My point is WonderFan is an incredible app. You guys should definitely download it. They also have pick'em challenges. You can predict who's going to win different series. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of in-game entertainment. You don't even have to be at stadiums to earn. You could be walking by stadiums just on your way to work and generate wonder and get points for cash rewards. A lot of cool stuff happening in WonderFan. Really happy to be a part of that. They sent me to the Cowboys-Steelers game in Pittsburgh. I'm going to the Clippers preseason game tomorrow night against the Kings. I'm actually really excited about that in the Intuit Dome, the new Clipper Dome in Inglewood. I'm stoked to go to Ballmer's Palace. Looks great. Can't wait. But yeah, download WonderFan. It's a great app, and you'll be seeing a lot of me on all their social media feeds. So that's really fun. Come support your boy. Download the app. Start earning. No strings attached. What are you waiting for? Okay. Hockey just started. Okay. I really don't know shit about hockey. Like, obviously I know how it's played. Well, I guess 85% know how it's played. There's always these random rules where I'm just like, why are they fighting? Like, why did he just really? They're going to let him, sometimes I need a refresher from a hockey fan. But I can definitely name teams, even though the team names are probably the craziest bunch of team names I've ever seen in any league. Like, there's no synergy. There's no symmetry. It's like, oh, you got these little friendly guys like the Penguins, the Ducks, the Maple Leafs. What could be harmful about a maple leaf? And then all of a sudden you got hurricanes, fire, the avalanche, just crazy natural disasters of death and darkness, the Blue Jackets, something from the Civil War. Like, what? And then you go a random pivot. It's like, oh, these are the Senators. Yeah, no, we didn't have enough time to actually come up with a name. We were just down near the Capitol and we were talking to some politicians. These are the Senators. Oh, we really ran out of names here. Let's just call one team the Canadians. Like, what? Just all over the place, right? I've never understood that. But what I do think is cool about hockey, I learned this fun fact. I bet you didn't know this. Hockey fans would know this, but the average fan probably wouldn't know this. I myself am the average fan. I don't know shit about hockey. Sidney Crosby, one of the greatest hockey players of all time. He was born August 8th, 1987. His lucky numbers are 8 and 7, right? August 8, 7. Right? Very superstitious guy. So you can imagine his number is 87, right? Following along. The guy only gets contracts in increments of $8.7 million. Like, that's it. His extensions, it's like, I'm not getting paid a cent more than $8.7 million. He can't make $87 million a year because I don't think the hockey has the capacity to do that, but he would if he could. The guy is so superstitious. It's only 8.7. He could make way more than 8.7 million. There are guys that are making 14, 15 million. And he's, generational player. But nope, stops right at 8.7. It's like, it's a wonderful thing if you're a GM because you just like pencil him in when you have dealing with the cap space. It's like, oh, well, he's only taking 8.7. We're paying the Michael Jordan of hockey $8.7 million a year. Granted, that's a lot of money for some schmuck on the street, but this is like one of the greatest players to ever play that sport. It stops at 8.7 million. It's unbelievable. If he could make 87 million, I'm sure he would take that opportunity, but hockey's not there yet. This isn't the NBA or not the NFL. Although I don't think anyone's making 87 million a year in the NFL. Maybe soon at this rate. Taylor Swift keeps doing her thing and just jacking up the prices of tickets. I wonder if Sidney Crosby wish he was born on October 100th so he could make, 10 or 100 million a year. Anybody? Right? Okay. That's my hockey content for the day. NFL, something I could talk about with confidence. I guess the Where's McCaffrey segment is just on pause because at this point, I just hope he's alive. All I'm going to say is I hope he's alive. I know he's back in the States from his studying abroad, studying his Achilles because they need to leave America. I don't have any idea what is happening. All I know is that the Niners may be back. Talk about that in a second. Big news of the week. Davante Adams is now a Jet for a third-round pick. I guess the Raiders got Tom Brady as a minority owner the same day, so you could kind of spin it that they traded Davante Adams for Brady in a third-round pick. That was not my joke. That was Mark Davis's joke. It sucked because Brady's not doing shit. Not right now, at least. He's just an owner. It's just a good business move for Brady. Davante Adams is now a Jet. It's not that exciting. I mean, it's just the Packers of New Jersey now, right? Because it's Davante, it's Rodgers, Lazard, Nathaniel Hackett is your OC, because Saleh, of course, got the boot because of Rodgers, and now you got this new guy. So it's really just Rodgers coaching the team. It's just Green Bay and New Jersey. That's what this is. Don't try to think about it any harder. It's just the Green Bay Packers in New Jersey, and everyone's just a little bit older and a little bit crankier, right? I feel like everyone's a little crankier now because it's like, all right, I'm 40, he's 35, he's 34. Guys are getting hurt. Guys are blaming each other. It's just a little bit of a disaster over there in New York, New Jersey. yeah, it doesn't move the needle for me. Devontae Adams as a Jet is like, okay, it's one more guy for Rodgers to throw to. Should he play a full game, of course, because he is 40, and it seems like every game he plays now, he looks older and older. Shocker, Jets. It's almost like you shouldn't be going after someone who's 40, putting that all on the line in the NFL. A game where guys get hurt. 40-year-olds get hurt just walking down the street. Anyways, Niners are back. I know this is kind of tough for many to hear, but Brock Purdy is an MVP quarterback. At least he is MVP caliber. There's a hot chance McCaffrey won't see the field at all this year. And the Niners are going to be definitely a playoff team. They're going to win their division. I mean, it took a few bumps in the road, a nightmarish loss against the Rams, and even worse against the Cardinals. Jordan Mason, we can't be fumbling. Jake Moody, what are we doing? Trying to be a hero on kickoff. I think those bugaboos are all out of the way. So you can bet that this team will be going for that first round bye. They're going to be competing for it, right? I mean, the Commanders just showed a sign of life that they're human, that it's not just Jaden Daniels running away with it. No one can stop him. He can be stopped. They have the tape. The Lions are the Lions, they're good. I'm going to talk about my sneaky MVP candidates in a second, but listen, if the Niners do this again, if they're dominating once again, it's Purdy. That actually sets up my MVP conversation. I have 3 MVPs, right? And I listen, I'm not a weatherman. I can't forecast anything, but I'd like to say these are pretty good dark horse picks to win MVP. And we'll just continue the conversation. Brock Purdy, number 1. I mean, if the Niners go 13-4, 12-5, right there, back amongst the top of the NFC, I don't think there's going to be any one team that just dominates, like a near perfect record in the NFC. I don't think that's happening. Niners are playing the Chiefs this weekend, and if Purdy just shows he's right there with Mahomes and they win, the Niners go on to win like the next, 6 of 7 games in this gauntlet of a schedule they have. There are no more excuses. Brock Purdy's an MVP quarterback. It's final. Because McCaffrey, if he doesn't show up, it's like they're still winning. Purdy is making unbelievable throws every single week. He's so damn accurate, so smart, so quick. The only time he screws up is when he just gets hit. Like when the line collapses, balls get tipped. It happens to everybody. Anyway, number 2, Jared Goff. Like I said, there's no real dominating team in the NFC. And if the Lions keep doing this, Goff has been damn near perfect past 2 games. And if they keep this up, really they could have the best record in the NFL. And then quite honestly, just, I don't know, give the trophy to the best player on the best team. That's a reasonable thing. And now the third guy is the Patrick Mahomes of the Bengals. Joe Burrow. Now here's a guy that could win MVP just by being around in the postseason, sticking around for the longevity of the year. If the Bengals are going to have any sort of success, it's going to be because Joe Burrow is the MVP. Thank you, Chris. That is true. If Joe Burrow continues what he's doing statistically, and I'm not saying have 500 yards a game, 5 touchdowns, no, just stay in that usual cool Joe of 350, 300 yards, couple of TDs, some rushing here or there, and just dominating, right? Like that he can. And the Bengals stay in this, and they come back and have if you close your eyes right now, and then you open them up, and it's week 17, and the Bengals are 10-6. I think that's your MVP. Who else are you going to give it to? Are you really going to give it to Patrick Mahomes? I'd like it. Again, thank you, Chris. I know you would. But that's that. Those are my 3 guys. I like Burrow. He was picked a lot 2 weeks ago before the Ravens game. That was the biggest trend was this is Joe Burrow's moment. You're 1-3, you got to be 2-3. Then, you'd come back, be 500 next week, and then boom, you can get the MVP. You're the favorite, the front runner. Of course, they lost, but now they have a much taller obstacles to conquer. I think they got it still. I do. Yeah, I like Birdie. I like Purdy. I like Goff, and I like Burrow to win the MVP. I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to do it. I think he's too young. I also don't think the team's that good. I think they played mediocre teams and just he performed well, but I think the tape's out. I don't think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he doesn't have like any of his best weapons anymore. It's just Kelsey and kind of Xavier Worthy, and Kareem Hunt, but that's it. Josh Allen, no, and Stroud, but again, he just lost Nico Collins. They could go on a bit of a slide shortly, But yeah, that's what I got. I just wanted to bring this up. Why does Shanahan every picture of Shanahan now is just him sad? Like the guy has one emotion and it's just devastating defeat. Like not like after the defeat. I'm talking like he just has that look on his face, just like, oh fuck. All the time. Like if you type in Kyle Shanahan on Google, it's like half the pictures are him just like press conference, just kind of in the middle, just like right? And then the other half are just him just going, oh, God, what? It's like going to the DMV and then leaving the DMV and realizing someone put a knife in your tire. It's just like, what the why? Are you serious? Like that's like you're already at a horrible thing. You're already at like the most like time sucking activity of all time. And now someone there's a knife in your tire. Now you're like, why is there a knife in my tire? Is someone coming after me? Oh God, I don't have the bandwidth to deal with like a hitman. Like that's what the McCaffrey injury, Moody going down, so it's forcing Shanahan to, I guess, bring out the punter to kick, but then they can't kick far. You already have Ayuk just being an absolute brat all offseason. So now he's going to change the offense, but now he's going to get Ayuk feeling good after spending all offseason trying to cater to him. So it's just these crazy babysitting tasks. I know I started the episode off hot saying that Shanahan committed fraud. That's not true. Shanahan is not a criminal. Shanahan is probably one of the smartest dudes in the NFL. I just don't like how the information was presented to us circling McCaffrey. I think that could have been dealt with a little more truthfully. But man, Shanahan, every photo of Shanahan just looks like someone just ran over his cat and then somehow sent him a bill. Like, oh, I'm so sorry about mittens. Here's the bill for it. That'll be an extra $500 because little bits of mittens got on my rims here, and I mean, it's an exotic car. All right. Okay, one little more thing about football, and then we will wrap up the show because I've been talking your ear off thus far. College football. Pac-12. Let me just say this real quick. This is probably the most overused statement on Twitter regarding college football, but you can kill the Pac-12, but you cannot kill Pac-12 after dark. What can't die may never be killed. Pac-12 after dark is an idea. You can't kill an idea. It's like the Batman. Sure, you could beat up Bruce Wayne. You could blow up the Batcave and Wayne Manor goes up in flames. But the Batman's an idea. Pac-12 after dark is never going away. And Washington State is showing you that. Oregon State is showing you that. And now the Pac-12, who was a doormat this year and sort of the laughingstock of all of college football, they're putting together a team. They're assembling. I don't want to say they're the Avengers. They're not bringing in the Avengers because the SEC did that. SEC was like, we'll take you, we'll take you, we'll take you. Perfect. That's the Avengers. I would say the Pac-12 is like the Guardians of the Galaxy. But they are very much like the Guardians of the Galaxy. If you're a superhero and you just probably zoned out the last 35 seconds of this and you're hitting yourself in the face with your door, I'm sorry. I'm going to geek out for a second. The Pac-12 is literally the Guardians of the Galaxy. No one has a clue who they are. And they got all these misfits. They got all these ancillary schools that they're building a program around. But when you think about it, what did they do? They added San Diego State. They added Gonzaga. I mean, these two schools come basketball season. Are you kidding me? My hot take is that the Pac-12 is going to get a lot of those schools to come back. I bet you Cal goes back. It wouldn't surprise me if Stanford goes back. Let's see. I feel like UCLA's got to go back. Like the new Big 12, or excuse me, the new Big 10, a lot of those schools that they had suck. Like Washington going to the Big 10 because they were good for 2 years with Penix. That was egregious, right? Oregon is a proven caliber of extreme talent, right? And Oregon just showed you they're capable of playing the SEC. Like the atmosphere of Autzen, how loud that place can get, the recruits they can get, the coaching. Oregon could be in the SEC. I truly believe it. And Oregon is proving themselves to be a worthy candidate to win the Big Ten. So they're right at home. And quite frankly, Oregon has been so dominant, they can do whatever the hell they want. Like if they want to come back to the Pac-12 and make things cheaper on their other athletes, they've been doing the Pac-12 a favor. They don't have to. They can do whatever they want. UCLA sucks. SC, frauds. Like those schools, Washington, mid. They have no business just being in the Big Ten just for a paycheck. Like go back to the Pac-12. Be a part of the amazing Conference of Champions and bring the rivalries back, for God's sakes. I mean, what is a rival these days? You totally butchered up the conference. You screwed up hundreds and 200s of years of town traditions. Like a rival is separated by a river or a mountain range or a shopping center, like in high school. Now you just have these fake rivalries. Like we're expected to think that Michigan and Washington is now a rivalry. Granted, that could be a good game depending on the recruiting class, but like same with Penn State USC. Good games. We've gotten 2 really good games recently with this past year, and then we got Sam Darnold versus Trace McSorley and Saquon Barkley. That was a sweet Rose Bowl. I don't need that every year, though. I don't care for that. Who cares? I like to see the rivals, the reasons to give a shit. Stanford going to Clemson, traveling 2,000 miles to lose by 100. I know it's football is king, but something tells me that the men's golf or field hockey traveling across the country isn't exactly meeting the cost that it takes to do so as far as their revenue. So, I don't know. Pac-12 splitting up for a few extra bucks. Bring it back. Pac-12 next year is going to include Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Gonzaga, Oregon State, San Diego State, Utah State, and Washington State. That can be a really fun conference. Like, basketball will be insane. There are probably 2 Final Four teams there. Like, there are 2 teams that will be in the Elite Eight, as I just mentioned. Football, I mean, any one of these teams could get hot. Like Boise State with Ashton Genty. You kidding me? The guy's rushing for 200 yards a game. Be awesome to see him go against Cal or Washington or Oregon every year. I don't know. I'm a homer. Quick reminder. Yes, next week, you probably know that I have a live show. I'm doing impressions and improv live at Westside Comedy in Santa Monica. It's called Now Here's Some Guys, because it's multiple impressions I'm doing with an amazing improv crew. You guys got to go. If you're in the Los Angeles area, you got to go. Regardless, if you can't make it, again, thank you for following the clips, for buying into this craziness, to doing whatever it is that helped me get to where I'm at now, that I'm doing live shows. So thank you once again. If you are in the area, please come. 7:30, October 24th, Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Really, I'm so excited. Now on to impressions and improv for this show. This is kind of what started that live show, was this little bit I do right here. Little different characters. Okay, here we go. Scenarios. Characters. All right, our first character of the day. Let's see a little improv here. What do we got today? Oh, Chris Collinsworth. And what is Chris Collinsworth up to? Let's see. Oh, Chris Collinsworth stubbed his toe. I mean, here's a guy. I'm just trying to walk the dog down the street. I was wearing flip-flops, thought it was a nice day, but turned out to be really quite a bitch because I stubbed my toe. Really quite painful. There's no cure for such an injury, and it's such an insignificant thing. There's no surgery. You can't do anything about it. You just kind of got to deal with the stubbed toe. I'll tell you who never stubbed his toe is Patrick Mahomes. Jesus. All right, I'm done with that. Okay. Another character. Yes, I haven't done him in a long time. Owen Wilson. Okay, here we go. Wow, ka-chow. Wow, Owen Wilson. Don't know what the big deal is here with the games, the improv. Thinking about lighting a candle. Yeah, let's see what scenario we have for me to do. Owen Wilson, he's always talking in a light whisper. Wow. Wow, he hates heights. Wow. Really high up. Ka-chow. I mean, that's really high. Wow. Okay, that's enough. All right. Another character. Here you go. By the way, these are many of the characters I'll be doing at the show. There's a couple more, of course. Tony Romo. Oh no. Let's see what we got. What kind of impression are we doing? Jim. I don't know. I got jury duty. There's no good time for this. 1 minute you're doing an activity, you're going outside, you're going to work, but then, I get this thing in the mail, a pink slip. Jim, I don't know. I've really been faking the injuries the last couple of years. I'm sick. I'm out of town, but I moved. I don't know, Jim. Let's see what they do. They're going to track my location. Are they going to send a guy? Am I going to get arrested? I don't know. There's a lot you could go on here. I really don't want to go. I'd rather not. Jim, I don't know. Okay, that really hurts my head. Let's do a couple more. Oh, Gru. It's a big deal. Very big deal. Gru is kind of like Jokic, right? It's just sort of like yes, I'm Gru, very big deal. We're going to steal the moon. The gravity of the situation is taken care of. First, we're going to draft an impression. And Gru, what is Gru doing? Gru has a gambling problem. Okay. I have to go to rehab because I have too much a problem with gambling. But is it gambling if you just pick winners? First, I pick this team. Okay? Second, I tell you to fade the public. Everyone wants to choose the points, but the best gamblers take the under. But we're out here to steal Vegas, okay? Perfect. Okay, that's my Gru. Trying that out. We'll hopefully tighten it up before next week. Okay, we'll do another one here. Let's see what we got. Elmo. Elmo's really excited about the impression thing. I really don't know what's going to happen. Elmo says he can't wait to do impressions. Let's see what Elmo's going to do. Let's see the scenario. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Elmo's at the DMV. Okay. What the fuck is going on? Elmo really wants to go home and hang out with his friends, but he's been here for 6 hours. Why the hell is Elmo here at the DMV? I really want to go home. What's that? No, I've been drinking and driving. Elmo's not allowed to drink and drive. Where's Elmo going to go drink a beer, go down I-5? What do you mean Elmo has to go to driving school? For what? Okay, that's enough Elmo. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. And last one just for fun. This is sort of a pair I picked out together. All right, here we go. Oh, Ryan Reynolds. Can you see it? Ryan Reynolds. What is Ryan Reynolds doing? Let's see here. Ryan Reynolds gets kidnapped. Okay. Hi there. I know you probably want something from me, but really, I just want to see the Jonas Brothers. I wore my white pants tonight. Okay, this was a long show, longer than I thought. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, I'll be live next Thursday at Westside Comedy in Santa Monica. It should be a lot of fun. Really excited for that. Chris Collinsworth, any closing remarks to wrap this up? Now, here's a guy that will be doing, here's some guys at the comedy place next week in Santa Monica. It should be a lot of fun. Oh, thank you for the ad read. And thank you very much to Wonder Fan for always sponsoring the show. We will see you when I see you. Bye. Now, here's a guy.